In fact, they're both of their best out-of-shield options is back air, believe it or not. Oh,
yeah.
There it is. There's Joker. Okay.
There we go.
So this matchup and Yoshi, not too bad for Joker overall. He has Nair and back air to space away from Yoshi for the most part. But we do have to keep in mind that Yoshi has among like some of the best aerial mobility in the game. So there's a lot of opportunities where he could just like answer right back with like a rising Nair.
Yeah, some of the best aerial mobility, and I feel like with his double jump armor, especially without Arsene, I feel like there's not a lot Joker can do to kind of challenge him in the air.
That's true.
Without Arsene, you're just not going to break that armor.
But Arsene is always a factor we do have to keep in mind, because once Arsene is out, it becomes a completely different game.
Oh, yeah. And I was just about to bring up, like, just something like that, where if he just times a down B correctly when Justin is going for a dare, like, just one dare will fill up the whole meter, basically. So Justin really has to be careful about just letting those rip against Joker.
At the same time, once Arsene's out, it really only takes just a little damage. See, it's already halfway gone.
Oh, yeah.
It just might work out to his favor, as long as he's careful.
Yeah, I mean, he's still kind of pressuring, but...
That was a good roll.
Oh, yeah. And I think that's one thing Justin really has an advantage of here. Maybe not just against Joker, but he's just super good about staying out of disadvantage. Like, in corner situations like that, where, you know, Arsene is out, he could die in one hit. He just does whatever he has to do to just get out. You know, he's not going to challenge.
In. All right, this is where we get to see possibly a former-day circle camp, but we can't ignore the fact that Justin still has a really good boxing game and takes his punish game as full as he can.
I wouldn't be surprised if he goes in a little bit here, just while Arsene isn't in play. You just have a little bit more room to be a little bit more risky, rack up more damage while you have the lead. And then probably once Arsene comes out here in another hit or two, we'll probably see him camping a little bit more. But
that would probably be the smarter decision,
yeah.
Just like trying to wait Arsene out. Here he comes.
Yeah. Especially after just getting countered like that immediately. Once Arsene comes out, I bet he's going to camp a lot more here for the next minute or so.
It isn't just only back air.
Oh, wow.
Air dodge catch with forward tilt.
Yeah, really, really good forward tilt catch. Just recognizing that Justin kind of wasted all of his options trying to recover there. And
wow, getting the Tetracorn going. I do admire how like Justin tried to, like, when he goes for like a drop down egg throw, I noticed like he jumps in like trying to get like a tech chase from the platform if he can get it.
Oh yeah. No, I think that's one thing he's always going for, is even when he looks like he's kind of camping, a lot of what he is doing is kind of setting up for a lot of like tech chase scenarios, or
just looking for those conversions.
Yeah, I mean, like almost everything he's doing can lead to a conversion in some way, and he's just so good at converting off any hit and racking up as much damage as possible. So you really just have to be careful, even if it's just what looks like a random egg. You know, if you get hit by it, you might be taking 40-50%.
If not straight up die.
Yeah.
All right, Arsene's back.
All right, well, let's see what you can do with it. I mean, it's really close. I think he should really be playing safe, yeah, because Justin's going to do that. I'd like to see him playing a little bit more safe with Arsene and really trying to pick and choose his openings, because he's not really getting a whole lot of punishes and like taking full advantage of Arsene when he's out.
At the same time, though, it's all the more tempting when you have Arsene, because like you only have a limited amount of time with them, and you want to get as much damage and maybe the kill as fast as you can. But now we're in this situation.
Yeah, I think that's like, I mean, you know, he's definitely a good Joker, but I think it's kind of a crutch for like Jokers who are still kind of picking up the character, where they get Arsene and then they start
just going right.
They just start going in because you know, you want to make the most out of it, but when you get put in these situations where you're just getting nared every time you run in, you know, in like 10-20 seconds, that's going to add up to you just wasted the whole Arsene. So I think he really needs to start slowing it down, picking his hits a lot better.
Right. Because now he's basically at forward smash % at the ledge.
Yeah, and it's, you know, it's going to be really hard to kill Yoshi here, because, you know, if he's coming in like that, Joker doesn't really have anything to break armor, so so how are you going to like kill him off stage like that?
That was actually a really good catch from Justin, just like low profiling away from the landing aerial to get that hit. Oh yeah.
One thing I might want to see a little bit more of is, you know, Justin, he's obviously he's known as more of like a campier player here. He does a lot of jumps. He really abuses Yoshi's airspeed to kind of get around his opponents. But one thing Joker has to kind of get around that is his up B without Arsene. And I would like to see him try to do that a little bit more, just
it's
to try
not
to
out of the question. Using the grapple hook to try and snipe some characters in the air, it does count as a weird pseudo command grab of sorts.
Yeah. I'd really like to see him try to do that a little bit more against Justin, because you know, a lot of times he's just jumping above him, trying to kind of bait out options. And if you can do that once or twice in the set, that might make Justin a little bit more hesitant to really be jumping around and throwing out options above you.
That's right. And if you can't do that, then at the very least, like, try and space back air, like try to intercept more with back air, because even without Arsene, there are points when Yoshi's taken enough damage where regular back air will do the trick.
Oh yeah.
Most because it's like a weird subtractional armor, I believe it's called. Like, there was a thing they had in Melee where it's just like, it did primarily beat hits, but after a certain threshold of percent that did scale with your percent, took a certain amount of knockback that would just constantly increase. Eventually you would start getting hit. Is that a footstool?
Yeah, that was a footstool. I mean, like, nothing to worry about for Joker, because he can just recover right off it, but
All right.
would have been scary for any other character.
Got Justin in the corner. Had Justin in the corner.
I'd like to see a lot more guns from him as well. Just like in neutral, just kind of to rack up a little bit of damage while Justin's far away.
Great catch.
Wow, what a great up smash.
Yeah, guns, really, really good tool in neutral. One of the more underrated tools in neutral, because it's quite literally just better Bayonetta bullet arts, and oh my goodness, this can get really messed up.
Oh my god.
Oh,
wow. Really good reversal from Justin. I mean, that was a scary situation.
Catching the greed.
If Barnabas had maybe gotten 1 or 2 more hits here, that could have just been a straight like 0 to death off that one Arsene.
Oh,
and here he is again. Let's see if he can make the most out of this like he did that last stock.
Oh, almost sniped him. Probably wouldn't have killed. Oh, there it is.
Ooh.
Stole the double jump. And
Wow,
there
he
it
is
goes.
just pressuring him so much in the corner this whole game. Like, it's such a turn from the last game as far as like how he's playing, how he's pressuring Justin.
Justin trying to find a way to get that kill. Barnabas has not let up.
Yeah, I love how he recognizes he has the lead here, so he's just, you know, he's using the gun, he's running away, he's just being as annoying as possible so that, you know,
Trying to
just
get Yoshi to come to him.
yeah, you gotta get Yoshi to come to you, and he's got to take as much damage as possible when he's coming in. So, and he's in a really good position, even if Justin, you know, gets the stock here. Not quite. A little more percent that down B may have killed, but you know, even if he gets the stock right here, Barnabas is in an amazing position for the next stock. But he might even just take it right here with Arsene.
Or just SD. That could happen.
I don't know what that fair was down there, but
Misinput
Well.
happens. I'd like the cross up from Justin's back air.
yeah.
All right, good catch.
Well, maybe.
And yeah, there's back.
Well, he's got to be careful now. I mean, like, I know it was a misinput, and you know, he's still got a good amount of momentum. But a lot of players, when they, you know, SD like that, when they're, you know, a stock up and really taking advantage of every situation they're in, you know, that can really hurt your mentality. And I think Justin's starting to make a little bit of comeback. So I don't know if maybe that's getting in Barnabas's head a little here, but
Because now it's like, this is.
now it's I mean, he's potentially in kill percent.
That might do it. Down throw.
No,
Yeah.
it's town, so. But I mean, if Justin gets like maybe like a bear up smash, bear F smash, something like that, he might just kill right here.
How about this one?
Probably not.
There we go.
There we go.
I noticed like when he was like trying to run back and use a bit of gun, I was wondering if he was doing that so that he could just rack up a little bit more damage for the down throw kill.
Yeah, I would imagine that's probably, and that's kind of the smart play there. I mean, I think in those situations, just going for the gun, going for kind of non-committal grabs to go for that down throw kill was probably just the smartest play, because anything else, I mean, Justin could have capitalized off of any mistake and gotten a kill there.
Right.
Yoshi is certainly no slouch to making comebacks and killing you at early percents.
That's often like one of Justin's best traits as a player in this
It
area.
is so annoying fighting him because of that.
You just can't seem to get the kill, and then he really tests your stamina in that way.
Yeah, that's how, when I played him last week, I mean, there's a lot of games where I was just up the whole game, and then he just would not let me hit him the whole last stock, and then he would make a comeback. And it is the most infuriating thing to play, but he is so good at it, and it's really impressive.
And then even more frighteningly, like even when you get the hit on Yoshi, it might not be the hit that you might have wanted, and suddenly all that happens is like he just double jumps right through.
Yeah, exactly.
That being said, Justin does have the counter pick.
Yeah,
Let's see what stage he picked. Okay,
Hollow Bastion. Okay, I can definitely see this being good for him.
A lot more room to breathe in general.
A lot more room to breathe. A little bit. Is it shorter than town's
I
pretty?
think it is
Town's
shorter,
pretty tall.
so getting kills will be a little easier for him.
Yeah.
And then he also has that center platform to work with, so it's just a lot easier for him to get on top of it rather than rely on the platforms in town and city that just come and go.
Oh, for sure.
All right.
I already like what Barnabas is doing as far as like his neutral game at the beginning here. He's kind of carrying what he was doing during that last stock of just throwing the side B out, using the gun. You know, it's definitely working. He's already got a pretty, small lead, but in this type of matchup, as slow as it can be against Justin, even just a small lead can be the matchmaker.
It can. Just that one lead, and as long as you maintain it and just don't get greedy. Speaking of which, like right now, oh wow, he got the side with the up B.
I love that up B. Yeah, and he's just doing such a good job of just staying patient, not running in, especially when he's at the ledge there, because Yoshi's just one of those characters where if you get nared off stage, it's like the fair is coming.
It is.
And if you can't avoid it, you're going to die at 30.
One thing that Yoshi does tend to struggle with in general, just as a character, is the fact that a lot of his attacks are just so closely attached to his hurt box, and Joker does have some disjointed options. So that is something that Justin does have to keep in mind. But so far, sitting pretty at 155, Barnabas trying to find that kill.
I'm really glad he's recognizing that, Yoshi is one of those characters where he can edge guard you really well, but he kind of relies on people recovering high, and that's something you just saw there with Justin. He almost always preemptively jumps up and goes for that high fair to try to punish people jumping when they're recovering.
That's right.
And Barnabas is just not letting him have it. He goes low almost every time, which I've talked to Justin about this. He's told me that just whenever some people do that, there's just almost nothing he can do.
Well, you say that, but at the same time, the way I see it, even though he's not able to get the kill with the forward air from the high recovery, the fact is it still does force to grab a ledge, and from there, Yoshi can just land with forward air, and now he has the ledge trap.
He has the ledge trap, but I think in situations like that, it's like they're almost so hyper-focused on getting that gimp or something, especially in situations where they're so down that, it's a little bit mentally taxing when you go for things that you want to try to get yourself caught back up, that, the slow and steady option of just ledge trapping doesn't always seem like the most viable thing.
Well, the back air beat out the Egon. Ooh, wow. Just a little later, it might have worked.
Yeah. Or maybe if he ran off and tried to nair him or back him into stage or any option. It's hard to punish. In situations like that where you break the armor but he's at ledge, it's really hard to just still take advantage of Yoshi.
That being said, Barnabas has quite the sizable lead. He is a full stock up.
Yeah, I think this is probably just going to be the tempo we're going to see for the rest of this game. Barnabas just kind of doing everything he can to stay away from Yoshi and rack up little bits of percent here and there, and then eventually get that final kill hit. And
there it is.
Yep, just that stray bear, and Justin's on his last stock, potentially his last stock of winners.
Wow, good call out with the Rebels guard.
Wow, he's just calling it. You can kind of tell that Justin's panicking a little bit here with all these stray aerials that he's throwing out, and Barnabas is just going to say, okay, if you want to do that, I'll just Rebels guard every single one of them, and if If you want to give me 3 Arsens this stock, I'll take it.
Yeah, by all means, please feed me.
You know, every bear I Rebels guard is another like 80% you're going to take once Arsene's out. So
Something else I'm really I want to point out from Barnabas' end is that he's actually, I've noticed he is like a lot more willing to shield compared to the previous first game. And that is something that is like a hard weakness in terms of like fighting Yoshi, because Yoshi doesn't really like the shield. He can do some shield pressure, but none of his throws can kill.
none of his throws can kill. His grab's a little risky, a little slow. But at the same time, I mean, Justin,
Trying.
he's coming back a little bit. I mean, he's at 109, but Yoshi's still kind of heavy. And I would say for the last 20 seconds or so, yeah, he's had momentum for this whole last couple seconds. So if he can carry exactly what he just did that last stock into this final stock, he might just win, bring this back and win the game. So Barnabas really has to be careful. He can't lose his patience right now.
That tech prevented him from taking so much damage. At the same time, Justin isn't really catching on to those techs and air dodges as he normally does. That's gonna hurt.
That is painful. This is the exact situation you don't want to be in if you're Barnabas on this last stock.
This is so tense.
Because he was up like 2 stocks and now it's even.
Yeah.
It's basically even. And if Justin can stall out this,
I'll do it.
no, he's still living.
Woo!
Oh my God. If he can live for like maybe another like 10 seconds, just get this Arsene gone, I would be scared if I'm Barnabas.
Down tilt.
Wow, amazing
Wow.
down tilt. That was such a good catch.
I was wondering when he was going to use that, because normally I see him like try and go for like forward tilt or down smash at a ledge, like try and catch that air dodge. And now he's got, like, he realized, oh wait, I have down tilt. Arsene down tilt's going to freaking kill.